Where are we at here? Oh, there it is. All right. The pentangle. Am I on yet? Yeah. Hear the voice of the bard, who present, past, and future sees, whose ears have heard the holy word that walked amongst ancient trees, calling the lapsed soul and weeping in the evening dew, that might control the starry pole and fallen light renew. O earth, return, arise from out of the dewy grass. Night has worn, and the morn rises from the slumberous mass. Turn away no more, while wilt thou turn away. The starry floor, the watery shore, is given thee to the break of day. Good to see you. It is I, your spiritual entertainer, your bard, here with you once again to provide this wonderful service of spiritual entertainment. No one else is doing it, so I must do it. I don't see, do you see it anywhere else? I do not. I am your bard. Keradwin is my goddess of bards. And behind me is the pentangle, which oddly enough, people think that I am Jewish because I have this up here. I get asked every time I put the pentangle up, that people want to know if I'm Jewish. No, I am not Jewish. It is a strange anomaly that people think this is the Star of David. I don't understand that. But good to see you, our good friend, Sir Flamedrop. Good to have you here, good friend. Am I well? Yes, I'm wonderful right now. I'm just freezing. It is quite cold where I live. It's like 30 degrees outside. In my house, it's about 60 degrees because we do not have a heater. Most people who live in Florida, they don't have heaters because often it is always hot. It is some winters we have never had any cold, but every now and then the north creeps down to us, and it provides an atmosphere of coldness, and that is today. This happens. Like yesterday, I had the air conditioner on. It was hot in my house. Today, it is cold. That is the winter here. There's no snow, just chill. The star of the bard. Yeah, there we go. That's what it can be. The star of the bard. So I'm all bundled up. I got my sweater on. Yeah. In the cold, I got a long sleeved clergy shirt on. That's how cold it is today. Yes, here every day for your entertainment privilege. All around the world, we have our wonderful. I gotta adjust my computer here. There we are. Let me refresh so I can get just a little bit out of whack here. Night of Cypher, you are up early in the morning here, beginning your day with spiritual entertainment. Good to have you here, our good friend, Night of Cypher. Always good to see you. Yes, it is a cold, cold day for all of us, but the work must go on, right? The work of entertaining you must go on. The work of joining yourself to the cauldron of Keradwin. Life is much easier when you are not trying to make it happen for yourself. When you allow the gods to do what the gods are here to do, to guide you, to pave the way for you. When you begin to recognize that, things get easier. Things get easier in your life. When you are always gripping the controls, right? When you are forcing your way, forcing your reality, then it's just yours. It is subject to your power. Now, certainly you can do that, right? But eventually your resources will run dry because that's all you have to offer, right? When you're going out and doing it your way, that's all you have to offer. But when you recognize that there are other beings in this world that want to guide you, that want to help you, it's much easier. It is much easier. Certainly you can do what you want. Not everyone has the same resources in terms of their life, of their intellect, of their abilities. Some of us, like myself, I am brain damaged, and there's not much I can do. Physically disabled. I have all of these problems in my life that keep me from achieving any real purpose, right? The society says, oh, you're always going to be this way. You're never going to be here or there. Well, when you limit yourself, you don't go anywhere, right? When you subject yourself to your own, earthly talents, I guess you could say, that is as far as you can go. But when you let divinity take the driver's seat, and when you say, "Go ahead, you can drive. I am just here for the journey." When you just turn your life into a journey, where you take each experience moment to moment, it becomes a much pleasant experience than perhaps what you were having before. Striving for identity, striving for purpose can be quite stressful, right? And some of us have been on that journey where we have strived, we have demanded, and we have sought it out because we didn't know anything else to do, right? And then we come to a place where that's all there is. That's all you can do. You are stuck with yourself. And that could be a terrifying experience. It could lead people to madness, right? You have something in what we understand in the Western world as the midlife crisis. You experience this midlife. I'm in the mid of my life right here. I'm almost 50 years old. I'm in the middle of my life. The crisis is gone because I have learned that I want other people driving the car. I just want to be on the journey, letting it unfold, enjoying what I have, having a state of gratitude. I think is very important for your peace in your life. Peace is there if you want it. When you are seeing, I don't have peace, you're always looking for it, right? But when you realize, yes, I have peace, you're not out striving for it. It is there. And you just continue to build upon that, right? That is the lifestyle that I choose to live. I see you with great purpose. You see me, I see you. See, when you have great purpose, you can see others with great purpose. When you don't have purpose in your life, you are always trying to nitpick, right, in other people's lives. Well, you need to do this, you need to do that. No, they do not need to do anything. They already have purpose, right? To be able to see great purpose in other people, you must first have that purpose, right? The symbol is the devil back here. No, so for some people, yeah, they would say it. For a Christian fundamentalist, the pentacle is a symbol of the devil, right? But for most people that don't adhere to their bullshit, it is just a symbol of power, a symbol of something greater in this world. Now think about that. Sacred geometry reveals a greater reality, right? This is feared by some. Other people recognize it as a symbol of power, right? They're able to see its value. The Christian fundamentalist recognizes it as a symbol of power, but in a negative way. For me, it is a positive way. For the druid, it is something of that there's more here than meets the eye. The sacred geometry reveals the mystery, and the pentacle is a sacred symbol that has always been with us. The natural, like if you cut an apple open, what do you see? You see this, right? It is a symbol that is of nature. It is a symbol of power. The circle is a symbol of power, right? That is a universal symbol of power. Lots of rituals that people do involve circles, right? Circles are symbols of power. They represent infinity, eternity, wholeness, completeness. It has many different values. It is a natural symbol of power. Let's see. Kiki, our good friend, a wonderful friend, Kiki, the expert of homosexuality, is here on our channel. Good to see you. If you have any questions about homosexuality, our good friend Kiki here is an expert. He's been gay all of their life, in their 50s, in a monogamous relationship over there. Really an expert on Belgium homosexuality. Good to see you, our good friend Kiki. Good to have you here. Let's see. Fundamentalists see anything other than total control of mind and body and society as a threat. Yeah. If you are threatening them, what do? You are the devil. That's how I thought, right? I thought everything was of the devil. And I still have that. Like, going and looking at the world differently. I still have a lot of this baggage of fear that comes with me. Like this symbol here. I was once afraid of it. I thought it was the devil, right? I thought every other thing that brought power into this world was of the devil, and I was wrong. I was wrong about that. But you still take the baggage. If you've been, like, I was a Christian for 30 years, there's a lot of baggage you take with you as you leave, right? Fear is what I've taken with me. Now, the good stuff is fine. Loving your neighbor, loving your enemy, that stuff is nice. But the fear stuff it's a real burden to confront it. And how do I do that? Knowing that I'm loved. These ideas of, well, if you're wrong, you're going to hell. I have to reason with that. I'm like, I'm a father. Would you do that to your own children if they just didn't have the right? No, you would not. God's ways are our ways. The Christian will tell you the opposite, because they want to make excuses for the God who wants to torture you, right? Like, well, his ways aren't our ways. That's why he makes a torture chamber. No, God's ways are your ways. To love is the greatest thing that we know in our humanity. And to know that there is a greater lover out there who would not act irrational, who does not torment people. This really is terrible. What Christianity, this God who's always concerned about what you're doing, always wanting to punish you all the time. It's really a terrible way of thinking of yourself, right? That you are unworthy, that he is always concerned how you eat, how you are making love, what you are doing with your private parts. He's always getting pissed off about it, right? It really is a terrible, terrible way to see a being who loves you in the most complete and whole way. Now, when you love someone, you don't have to agree with what they're doing, right? There's probably lots of shit we do that the All-Father does not like, right? Probably lots of shit, but he's not going to torture you for it. Now, I would imagine that, things that I've done that I am ashamed of, the evils. I've done a lot of evil in my life that I'm ashamed of, that I don't tell people about because I'm ashamed of it. Because it's hard for the human person when you start talking about your evil, it's hard for them not to see that, right? Like if you told me that you were a murderer, right? That when you were younger, you were an evil person and you had murdered someone. That's all I will see now, right? I don't have the power of divinity to see your greater value and purpose. To say, oh shit, you did that. That's terrible, right? Now let's make it right. Let's live good. Let's live a wholesome life. I don't have the power to do that, but the All-Father does. I am a father. I have children. Some of them have done some terrible shit, but I have the power as a father to still love them, even though they've done these terrible things. That is now think about that in terms of a deity, right? this great father and great lady that we have. See, that's how I understand. Divinity to me is a community. Divinity to me is a family. Father, mother, children. You have the All-Father, the great lady, and all of the gods like Cadadwin, and us. We are God Junior. We are part of this eternal family. That's how I understand it. And when you have a family member who has gone off the rails, who has harmed you or has harmed other people, they are part of you. You don't lose that part of you. You grieve, you are sad, right? But you don't stop loving them. They are a part of you. You cannot not love them. And that's how I would assume that if there is the Christian idea of judgment, right? I would assume if there is a judgment, that this being would help me to deal with my bullshit, would not destroy me, but help me to learn empathy, to learn to make up for what I have done, not by being tortured for it, right? If you think about our prison system, the modern prison system came from monasticism. Did you know that? It was supposed to be a way to reform you. It's terrible. In the United States, our prison system is a garbage. It is hell. You just put people in there so they can get butt raped and tortured and things. I mean, it is not a place of reformation. But you go into like the Netherlands prison system, they have a very low return rate because they help you to deal with your bullshit. They get you therapy, they work with you, they try to get you a plan to return to society. That's how prison should be done, right? And that's how I see if there is any type of consequence for the actions that I've done, that's what it would lead to, right? And the idea that I can do it now, I don't have to wait till later on. I can begin to change my life now and make my life better and, do good in this world. You have the power to do that because your nature is good. No matter what kind of bullshit you have done, does not erase what you are. You are a divinity junior, as I said. You belong to divinity. You can't erase that. That is what you are. You need to return to what you are. You have gone astray for whatever reason, right? People don't start out evil in life. Maybe they have something is going on up here. Maybe shit has been done to them. Maybe they have been tormented and now they are continuing the torment, right? I've been hurt by a lot of people. Some of you have been hurt by people, right? And you have to look at these people as, they are a part of you. Even if you leave, you never see them again. They have tormented you. They're still with you. And you have to look at them in a way, well, maybe they wouldn't have done that if things were different in their life, right? Maybe they wouldn't have chose this evil path. You have to say, I hope they learn remorse. I hope they learn. I've experienced terrible and wicked things done to me by other people. Terrible and wicked things. But I also have done terrible things, right? Maybe not in the same way, but, some of us, we're not as fortunate. We make terrible choices, right? We make terrible choices. But your choices don't define you. What defines you is you belong to something greater. And out of this greatness, you can have a wonderful life if you want it. You don't have to, if you've done, for instance, if you've been like a Viking all your life, right? You've been, raping and pillaging, right? You've done all of these great things, these evil things. Now it is time to undo what you have done by being great, by being wonderful, bringing goodness into the world. Now, you have to take that guilt, kind of like that shame. You don't have to let it define you. You can let it be your teacher. You don't have to remain in a state of guilt or shame. You could say, yes, that was terrible shit that I've done. It is an unfortunate reality of my past. But now I'm going to live with goodness and purpose. You can heal yourself of the negativity that you have brought into the world, right? That is your destiny. You can reform your life. And that's one of the good things about Christianity, that it teaches reconciliation, the healing in that way. The other stuff is bullshit, but that is one of the good things that I have learned when I am no longer a Christian, obviously, but I've kept that with me. Brainless one, good to see you. If you track the movements of Venus across the sky for 1 to 2 years, you get a perfect pentagram. Interesting. You see all this natural symbolism, right? Oh, let's see here. Where are we at here? Robert, good to see you. What is this? DB doobly dooby dee? What's going on here? What is the devil? What is a devil? I don't know what a devil is. Oh, the devil. The devil. Okay. You are presenting doobly and devilies in all kinds of different ways here. Let's see. Is that why they call Christ and the devil the morning star? Yes, because that is the brightest star in the morning. The ancient people, when they looked up, there's their gods, right? All over the place. There's the angels, the messengers. That's how they understood what is heavenly, right? We just see balls of light now, right? I think there's a disadvantage to doing that, right? I see science as a reality, but I also see it as a spiritual reality, that those stars are connected to spiritual realities. They are not just balls of light. That is how they manifest in our cosmos, but they are living. That's how I see all things as living, all things as connected. Now, we are not all living in the same way, right? We have different ways of manifesting what we are. And I'm going to talk about that. Some of you, I got my paperwork from my Substack from yesterday that I'm going to talk about, druidry and why, you might be a druid. I personally see all people as their natural disposition is that of a druid. That's how I see it. And so I made a wonderful video yesterday about druidry. You haven't seen it, you could check it out. Give it a like in my video section. And I'm starting to make videos about druidry. Next week's will be about 5 aspects of a druid's grove. How to have a druid's grove, something like that. I'm working on the dialogue for it now. And I'm going out to my grove is where I do all of this filming. I got like equipment now that I use. I go out to my grove and do these. I have a beautiful grove. It's about the size of a football field. With these it's very interesting. It's in the middle of a swamp, and most of the swamp, if you start walking through it, it's difficult. You have to use if you had a machete, you could use a machete to get rid of you're trenching through swamp grass, and everything is like tight. I'm trying to give you a vision of, but there's this one beautiful place that is spaced apart trees, these laurel oak trees, that I have found in my swamp that I go to. I'm like, this is where I feel that I'm drawn to, this place, where all these wonderful laurel oak trees are. And so I put a stone circle there, and I go there and I do my druidic meditations and poetry. And the trees, to me, they are living there. There's something wonderful about, one's grove. And I'm going to be talking about that next week. But today I'm talking about, are you a druid? What are the signs that you might be a druid? Let's see here. You think that's a leprechaun SFD? What is an SFD? Oh, your Sir Flame Drop, the Bud Whisperer, yeah. They want your shoes. Venus is the sky, a pentagram. Yeah, the pentagram is a natural, sacred, geometrical shape that is in our world, right? That's why the ancient people, they said, look at this. This is a beautiful symbol. It has power. All right, here's a dumbass in the chat there that I'm going to ban. Let me scroll down there, get him out of here. All right, goodbye, jackass, with your racist bullshit. Oh, there you go. Yeah, sick people on here, right, with their racist bullshit. All right, where am I at here in the chat? Oh, my allergies are getting to me here. Scrolling through. Heather, our good friend Heather, who is black. Heathen Heather, as she is also known. Good to see you, our good friend Heather. How have you been? Hope your life is going well. We appreciate you. Yeah, thank you for all that the hard work you used to do when you're retired, right? You're retired from your nursing that you were doing in the past. Let's see here. If no one has told you that they love you today, please let me be the first. There you see, that's all it takes, right? Knowing that you're loved, it brings about purpose, right? You know, some people, they say, what is the purpose of life? To be loved, that is it. And returning that love in your own way, right? That is all that is the greatest accomplishment, right? When you love someone, that love changes the world. So thank you, Heather. Your love changes me every time you come on. I appreciate you very much. The inverted banana. You've been mostly good. Others would tell you otherwise, but they would be wrong here. I have not. I have been terrible for half or a quarter of my life. You know, I still do terrible things every now and then that I'm not proud of. You know, some of the stuff that I have done in my life, I'm not proud of. You still make mistakes, sometimes out of a compulsion, right? Like anger, right? You know, the other day I got mad at someone driving and I told them to F off, you know, basically. That was inappropriate. We get these, you know, think about that when you're driving. You know, it really brings out your worst, right? That is something I need to work on because that doesn't bring any goodness into the world. When, you know, the road doesn't belong to me, right? People make mistakes when they drive. Some people are assholes when they drive, especially the people that ride your ass. You know, that's when I let off the gas. When they want, you want to ride my ass? You want to ride my ass? It's okay on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but not on the road. Not on the road. It was terrible, overheated in Discord chat last 8 days. It confronted me with my own inner assholeness. Yeah. And we have wonderful moderators that are on there, right? That are very tolerable and try to help you, Kiki, right? Sometimes we can be assholes, right? And it's good that you're able to learn from that when you're able to say, hey, I need to step back here and reflect about, you know, maybe I'm unnecessary, right? A lot of conversations on the internet, you forget that there are people on the other end, right? And all you see is words there, and you get all fired up, and we start running our mouth, and we forget there's another person on the other side of that chat, right? That's easy to do. Certainly you wouldn't act like that when someone's on our face, right? It's real easy to forget that. We are all guilty of it, but it's good that you can learn from that because our Discord community is wonderful when you allow that you have those boundaries where maybe I shouldn't talk right now, maybe I shouldn't keep going at it, right? So it's good to learn. You know, we've all been guilty. You know, I've been kicked out of a lot of Discord servers, you know, in my lifetime. You know, a lot of things I've been banned from because I was being an asshole. You know, it happens, right? That's when I used to have Facebook when it came out. That was like I'm going to argue all of the time. Then I said, well, screw it. I'll just get rid of my Facebook. No more Facebook for me, because it can be unhealthy. Some of the conversations that we have, right? And Facebook is terrible with politics all the time. all these people demanding, hey, you follow me or else, right? Yeah, I don't have a Facebook account anymore because all those people on there, some of them are assholes, most of them. All right. Let's see. I have been mostly good. Okay, where are we at here? You've done some horrible, stupid, and misguided things, but you've grown past that. Your entire perception of these things has changed. When you have moved past your misdeeds like that, you can heal. Yeah. One of the practices that I have done, because there's a lot of people that I cannot say I'm sorry to. So I've met a meeting place in my mind where I've confronted these people that I've said, listen, I've done you wrong, but I'm going to live my life, the rest, trying to do better. I've developed that empathy with this conversation. I found that very helpful. And also to forgive people that have hurt me in the past. I'm like, the people that have harmed me. I have confronted them in my mind, and I've said, listen, you have hurt me. I hope that you can learn from what you have done, just as I have. And I hope that you can heal and be a better person. That when you are able to do that, you are free. Until you are able to let go of the pain that you carry, the hatred, one of the sometimes there's nothing wrong with justice, right? Justice is a good thing. But the way that we demand justice is we want to destroy the other person. That the other person probably deserves it, right? Comes to the shit they have done. But you have to think greater than that no matter what that person has done, they didn't start out that way in the world, right? If you could take all of that shit out of their life and return them to this state of infancy or childhood, they probably would be loving, right? You have to think of that. Sometimes our humanity gets damaged and we do terrible things. Now, that's no excuse. There's no excuse for their behavior. What they did was wrong. They have hurt us in some way. But, you have to realize that you could have done the same damn thing, right? If you were in their situation, had their experiences, you might have hurt people too, right? So you have to be able to heal that person, even though you want them to be destroyed. As long as you're having this sense of justice, where the other person is destroyed, you will never heal. You will never grow. You will stay in one place. The Christ taught, to forgive your enemy, right? He taught the value of forgiveness. It's sometimes in an extreme way. Like he says, if you don't forgive, you won't be forgiven. Now, I interpret that as a reality. That when you are unable to forgive, you tie the hands of the All-Father for your healing. You remain in this state where it is difficult to heal you, right? Not that you are forsaken, but you continue in your pain, where you destroy yourself from the inside. I think the idea of forgiveness when the other person doesn't deserve it. Now, that is not done without reason, right? I think it's very stupid how some people take that. Oh, you are my rapist. I'm going to forgive you. No, you stay the hell away from people who will harm you, right? You don't have to be friends with them, and you should want them to be locked up so they cannot do that to other people. But I'm sure you understand where I'm going with that, right? Let's see here. You can forgive yourself too. Yeah. That's very important, because if you cannot forgive yourself, you will destroy yourself. You will destroy yourself. How can you forgive yourself? What is a helpful exercise to do? To recognize that there is a being greater than yourself that forgives you. I think that's very important, that Christianity teaches that you are always going to be forgiven. As a father, I always forgive my children before some of them never ask for it, right? They do these things that are terrible, and I get pissed off, But even when I'm pissed off, I don't hold it against them. You know, you forgive in the moment of anger. You say, well, I'm angry now. Maybe I've said too many things. Sometimes I do that. I keep going with my anger. Then I come back and say, you know what? What you did was wrong, but you didn't deserve all of that anger that I was giving unto you. You didn't deserve that. And I apologize for that. Please forgive me. Now, I think that's important, right? Saying you're sorry is one thing. Sorry and forgiveness are not always the same, right? When you go to a person and say, I'm sorry, it doesn't have as much power when you say, please forgive me for what I have done. There's a greater personal reality, a greater responsibility when you say, please forgive, rather than, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, there's less responsibility in it. You know, I'm sorry I did is just for you. It isn't for the other person, right? So going to another person and say, please forgive me for what I have done. I've always done that with my family members when I have, have gone too far in whatever I have done, right? I go, please forgive me for what I have done. There's healing in forgiveness. There's no healing in, I'm sorry. No, there's no healing there. You take it to a greater level when you, please forgive me. Dom, good to see you. I am doing good. I hope you are doing well, Dom. Good to see you. Father, that's exactly how the Slavs thought about divinity. It's about Dazbog, the grandfather of the Slavs. He is known as the giving god. We Slavs are a piece of him, and thus our ancestors. Yeah. I when I was a Christian, I was a part of a Slavic tradition. So I love Slavic spirituality very much, even though I practice Celtic spirituality. I understand the Slavic mentality. In the Christian reality, really deep in that reality of charity, of giving. The Slavic hospitality is a wonderful experience. Let's see. Something is triggered. Very deep stuff, good and bad. Must be unleashing of Celadon's cauldron. That father has started his own druid coming out. Yes, the druid coming out party, right? Yeah, I've done a lot of changes in my channel over the year. I started out Christian. Now it's just druid, right? And everything keeps changing. And since I've done that, we've had a lot of good receptivity. Like yesterday, I had 150 subscribers in one day. I mean, last week, 600 subscribers. Wonderful growth is we are experiencing here on the channel. The need for druidry in this world is essential, I believe. To recognize what you are. You are a druid. And I want to help people to see that about themselves. That natural spirituality is the only true spirituality. That deities aren't up in the sky. Deities are here. They are in you. They are around you. That you live it. Your experience of the world is living. It is true. And the Abrahamic religions, there might be wisdom in them, certainly. But their expression is that the world has no value. That the world is just something you can use and it's going to be destroyed anyway, right? The world is all we have. The natural is the true spirituality. And when you begin to see it that way, your life begins to change. And I really believe that. Let me get into my druidic teaching here that I have on my Substack. Now, if you've ever felt like, for instance, you've gone into the forest and you feel like you're being, there's something there, trying to communicate with you. As I shared before, previously in other shows, when I was younger, I would see like clusters of forest trees together when I lived, for instance, I had an experience when I was 17 years old in Fraser, Michigan. It's a suburb of Detroit. But behind my neighbor's house was a cluster of trees that went very tall. And I would see the sun rise over them. And the trees, how they looked in the twilight, there was something there I felt, it was calling out. Now, I would go into this region where the trees were. I'm like, what's the big deal here? I feel something here, but when I go there, it's not here, right? Because my perception of what I was looking for wasn't there yet. There was something there, certainly. Now, this is, to me, a revelation of your nature, right? Of the druid. That single moment of recognition really sets the tone for the question that many people never think to ask. Druidry. Druidry is something that I believe is intrinsic to the human condition, that we are all druids, but we don't realize it. The druid, by my definition, is the high priest of the natural. The priest is the mediator. The priest is the cultivator. The priest is the one that brings nature to its. We are not like other beings, right? We can walk around, we can be creative, we can destroy, we can build. We have a responsibility as this mediator person, this druid, the high priest, to bring the cosmos to a greater experience. As I tell people, when I go to my grove, I am changed. The trees are changed. There is a meeting place there. Before I came to my grove of laurel oak trees, they were just trees, living their life, being trees. And I was just a human being, being a human being. And then I go to this place, and I have this experience where now, as a high priest of the natural, the trees become changed, I become changed. The grove becomes the sacred place. That is what every human being has the power, right? The druidry we read about in historical textbooks is only one expression, really, of something older and universal. To be human is to be a druid, because the druid is the high priest of the nature. And that's nature is where we experience life, right? You don't start living when you die. The Christian message of meeting divinity when you die is a farce. This is a scam. Divinity is right here. You don't have to go somewhere else, right? Now, when you strip away the titles and traditions, you are left with a simple truth. Humans have always listened to the world around them and have responded to it with meaning. Look at all of our mythologies, right? The sky, there are gods there. The earth, there are gods here. Under the earth, there are gods here. We have always spiritualized the world that we have lived in, correct? Yes? Now, you already may know this in quiet ways. You listen to the world, not just to people. You hear meaning in the wind, water, in the silence. You treat nature like a conversation instead of a backdrop. You feel called rather than interested. Druids do not just observe nature, they participate in it. This is not a role you earn by a way of being that reveals itself to you. You pay attention. Now, I am a member of the Order of Bards, Ovites, and Druids. We have this program where you can get further education, and you get a title, rather. Like I am a bard, for instance, right? Now, that is something that is transitory. It is just a piece of paper. It does not define me. That is just something I am, in an organization that is helpful to me. It does not define me. What defines you, what defines me, is what is natural. And your nature is that of a druid. Now, you may, for instance, feel energy right before you see it. This is a common experience in our humanity. You sense perhaps moods in rooms. You feel something is off or right without needing evidence, right? You trust intuition like it's a compass that has never failed you. A druid reads the unseen as easily as the seen. This sensitivity is not a weakness, but a sign that you are tuned in to deeper layers of experience, right? You protect what you love. You guard people, places, and moments because they matter to you. We know of the infinite value of the human person, right? But this infinite value is in all things, and it's experienced differently. You are a steward, not an owner, because you understand that care is a form of strength. A druid's power is measured by what they preserve, right? The desire not just to protect the human person, but the very world that we live in, the very natural. You are not separated from a tree. If you wipe out all of the trees in the world, you die. You will die. You are not separated from the world. Too much of this garbage has been taught to us by the Abrahamic faiths, that the world does not matter, that all that matters is getting to this mystical place in the sky. And this is bullshit. The world you live in is the only world. There is no other world. Everything that is good is here. And when you begin to see that, you begin to be transformed. Stop listening to this bullshit that you'll be spiritual when you die. No, you are already spiritual. You don't become spiritual when you die. You are spiritual now. And the world you live within is the heavens. There is no heavens in Druidry, because this is the heaven. This is what you experience. How you choose to experience, that is your heavens. Now, in that you seek harmony. You don't seek to control, right? These natural patterns that are in the world. Now, we talked earlier about the pentacle, right? The pentacle is a natural sacred geography, right? It is in the world. It is a presence of power. It is a presence of mystery. It is a presence of revelation. You don't force outcomes, right? It is already here. You learn to participate. You learn harmony. You look for balance instead of dominance. We are good at dominance, right? We are good at manipulating the natural to get what we want. But look where it's getting us. Look how we are manipulating the world. Look where it's getting us. We should be seeking sufficiency from the world. But what are we doing? We are not doing that, right? And look what's happening to our world. It is falling apart. Look at how people are acting in the world today. We are losing our damn minds, right? Well, the mental health crisis to me in the world today is tied with not seeing your environment as connected to you. You don't have, look at the history of mental health in the world, right? There was always people who suffered. And look at us today. Go back a few hundred years ago. People weren't as crazy as they are today. It's because we have lost our connection to the world. People used to go outside, right? When you don't go outside, you lose your damn mind, right? You understand that everything has a place and a season and moves more smoothly when you don't move against it. You learn to participate in it, right? Druids do not bend the world. They align with it. This mindset is not passive. It is a deliberate choice to work with the flow of life rather than trying to overcome it, right? Your transition, in this is towards stillness. You grow in quiet. Do you grow in a noisy environment? You grow in the quiet. You grow in the harmony of the silence, right? Clarity is found in the solitude. Clarity is found in the forest, right? You evolve by listening inward. You know that silence is not empty, it is full of direction. Like the forest will guide you when you learn to be quiet, when you're not putting your demands upon it, right? Stillness is the druid's greater teacher. When you allow yourself to stop, you discover that inner landscape is alive, right? One of the things we learn in druidry, you have the outer growth and the inner growth. This here is your first growth. Many people don't know how to go into here, right? They are taught they must go to a building. They taught that one day when they die, they'll have something wonderful in here, right? This is a lie. This is your first place of peace, right in here. Everything you need is in here. Nobody could take that away from you except yourself. And we teach ourselves to not be a participant in the wonder of what we are. You are wonderful. Your nature is wonder. The human person is a great mystery in its capacity. Now I'll go back to your comments here. I know I'm a little bit behind, but you can catch all that on my Substack or in my, if you want to go to my Substack, it's in my About Me. All of my notes for my shows are on there. And also you can watch my video that I've just made yesterday about 5 reasons you are a druid. If you want to check that out, I would appreciate that. All right. Father, you and our progeny are the same divinity we venerate. The ancestors hold much power. Yeah, that's how I see it. My goddess is Caradwyn. She is an ancestor to me of my Welsh ancestors. You are acting naturally. Oh, you're Kiki. Okay. Let's see here. Your inner bard is passing. Oh, my. I look at it like this. If you were someone else's shoes with the same circumstances in nature, I know I wouldn't have been able to make a different choice. I can only judge based on my own. Yeah, that's a healthy way to look at it, right? And not everybody is us, right? But at the same time, everybody is us, right? There's nothing that's not common to all of us, right? That's a good system, yeah. Fire can purify, but eat you up too. Your partner is wiser in that, not reacting on impulse. Pass through my partner is well. My wife, she is the wisdom for me because I am like a raging fire. I see myself like a lion sometimes. I love passionately, like a lion would, right? But I'm also ferocious when I get angry. I am a Cancer. That is my astrology. Cancers are quite emotional. But my wife, as another water sign, is a Pisces. She helps guide me through the waters. The crabs, they just float along and grab shit. But the Pisces, they learn to flow with the stream, right? And my wife is a Pisces. She helps me to flow with the stream. She is that voice of reason when I'm getting out of control with my passion, right? I'm always passionate about many things, and sometimes I get over passionate, especially with religion. My wife will tell you, we've been to all kinds of religious stuff. She's like, can we just stop in one place? We'll stay here. Like when I first started out in Christianity, we were going to all kinds of different churches. She didn't like that. She's like, can we just stay in one spot? And eventually I made my way through all of that. She helps bring stability to my nature as a Cancer. Let's see. Yeah, it's good to have someone like that in your life, right? And we're all here for one another, right? You're a water fire cusp person. You tend to polarize sometimes as a Leo. with Asperger's, you suffer from your own sensitivity and fire. Yes, I have the fire symbol as well as I was born in the year of the dragon, the fire dragon, 1976. So I am that fire year, and also in the fire in the water, as well. How I see it. Very, very passionate, but sometimes irrational in the presentation. Joseph Theodis, good to see you. He was a truck driver, a free spirit, avoiding conflict. I am a homely, creative person. You create at home and welcome the conflict is a transformative process. Yeah. Jessica, nice to see you. What are the signs? I don't know. What signs do you bring with you? Let's see here. Scrolling through. I am about 20 minutes behind in the comments, but I will get to you. If I did not greet you, I apologize. Because sometimes I just start talking about things, right? I enjoy having these conversations with you. Like and subscribe. If this helps bring more people here, I want to talk to you. I could keep talking, certainly, but I want to talk to you. This is what I do here as your bard. I share my stories with you. You can also join our Discord community server. We have wonderful people on here. There's a join button there. I do this for a living. So I appreciate people that can support me in any way. And being a community member is a wonderful way to do that. For the price of a cup of coffee, just one coffee. You could support what I do here. I appreciate people that can do that as well. Liking and subscribing is wonderful as well. Meditation actually gives you panic attacks for some reason, so you don't like doing that. You need to find out why. Maybe the way you're doing your meditation is inappropriate, because it shouldn't be doing that. That maybe there's an entity that doesn't want you to enter into the silence and will attack you, right? You need to find out. I would encourage you to fight against that. Try different forms of meditation. Get one of the maybe the meditation of focusing on your breath as a medium to experience what is divine. Just putting all your attention not on your fear, but on the process of your breathing, right? This sacred reality, this divine wisdom that is hidden within you, that just causes you to breathe, right? Think about that. Focus on the air coming in and then leaving you. Leave everything else behind. So I would encourage you to try different forms of meditation, because that is a healthy way for you to develop and to grow. A lot of people, when they go into silence, they run, they are fearful, because you are afraid of yourself. You have not learned to love yourself yet. You hear about people getting trapped in isolation, and they lose their damn minds, right? Because they've been living out here in a false reality, and they cannot go back to it. A lot of people, you live in illusion. The true experience of peace does not come from outside of yourself. It comes from what is in here. He drags you out of vicious mental circles. Yeah, I know the feeling. I know that my wife does that for me. Oh, let's see here. Love will always outweigh the hate and the uncertainty. Yeah, it's a workout. Yeah, you're right. A mental muscle train. Yeah. Let's see here. We all do. We all learn. We all complete sets of light and dark. That's why I advise people not to fear their dark places, but to look at it in the eye and embrace it. Wear it with honor. Yeah. Yeah. The darkness that is within us, there's something behind it, right? That is good. Sometimes we choose darkness in our life because we think that is all there is. And in its bad face, there's something behind it that seeks value, that seeks purpose. Our shadow self, our wounds and things. There's a face behind that that's important, that we neglect. Now, the darkness by itself, that in terms of deeds, that is not good. but sometimes there's something behind it in our subconscious that is trying to find its way, right? And to find that and to heal that, is very important. I am a disgrace. Prove it. Prove it. Let's see. You're schizophrenic. You have to work on different kinds of mind exercises. Yeah. Yeah. Now, I am not a physician, a clinical physician, therapist. So I only can offer spiritual advice. So take that in that regard when I say that sometimes schizophrenia is sometimes not a bad thing. It is a thing that society tells us that it is a bad thing. And there's certainly for some people it is a bad thing, but not all the time. Sometimes it's how you listen that's important to these other persons that are speaking to you. Yeah, my wife is a medium. Yeah, in her early years when she would hear things, she was taken to a physician who said she is a schizophrenic. She is not a schizophrenic. How she was defined. Sometimes people are sensitive to voices, and sometimes there's a community in here. Our ancestors, sometimes they linger, right, with us, and some of them are assholes. Yeah, some of them are a nuisance. These voices that we have in here, they don't define you. They are just voices, right? And sometimes having a conversation with them is not unhealthy, right? What happens when you shut off all the voices? They just wait around. They are still there, right? It's how you go about having these conversations that's important. Now, many people won't understand that outside of yourself. Many people don't understand that, right? Sometimes they are tormenting. Some, like I said, some of them are assholes. But you're the listener. How do you respond to assholes in life, right? Do you let them dominate you? Do you let them control you? Or do you see past their assholeness and see that there's a person on the other side there? Do you try to heal them? Or, what do you do? Is it appropriate to give them the finger? Sometimes. There's a lot of assholes on here, right? You are the listener. Now, as I said, I am not don't take any of this as advice in terms of what is of a doctor. I am not a doctor. I'm talking about spiritual reality is what I'm doing. Let's see here. Yeah, meditate when you are waiting in line. Yeah, sometimes meditation is not without noise, right? I have a large family. Sometimes I have to go into a room to meditate, but I still hear shit in the background. Now, that shit doesn't take away from that peace. Absolute silence is not achievable because there's always something going on up here. You have to see it as a response rather than as a burden. When you learn to do that, you learn lots of power because you can go into a supermarket and be in a state of meditation. When you have the proper tools, when you learn your inner silence, when you let that follow you around, you can find great peace, great power in your life. Arden Velamir, good to see you, our good friend. Pentacle wheels would be cool. Yeah, that would have them on your hubcaps, right? Have them on your hubcaps. You are no longer worthy to wear your clothes. Well, if you don't like it, asshole, leave. You don't have to be here. If me wearing, I earned this shirt. How about you? I spent 10 years of my life in universities and seminary to get this shirt. How about you? You ain't going to take this shirt away from me. This shirt is a part of my life. Now, I'm no longer a Christian. I'm no longer working as a clergyman. But this shirt is a part of my life. And you assholes are going to take it away from me. Numbers 31. Oh, man, that's a terrible. Ethics over faith. Numbers 31 is where you have God telling the Israelis to divvy out the sex slaves. Terrible, terrible verse, right? What kind of God tells you to take sex slaves? The God of the Bible. The God of the Bible is not good. Oh, let's see here. Good morning. The servant of Anubis is here. Vixen, good to have you here. I have quit all social media except YouTube. I do block a lot of YouTube channels to tell the algorithm I have no interest in certain things. Yeah, I do the same. Like Christian apologetics, and I always block. You know, I am not interested in that shit. Most of my algorithm is Dungeons and Dragons, and druidry and the occult and esotericism, shit like that. That is mostly my algorithm. Speaking of which, if you're interested in D&D, I just started another channel to do my D&D acting and things on there, where I'm a wizard talking to people and doing live streams of games and things. A lot of nostalgia from the 80s of game books and things. It's called, here, I'll put it here in the chat if you want to give it a subscription. I would appreciate it. It's called At Realmscape. There it is. At Realmscape. There it is. I put it in. If you're interested, go check it out. Yeah, I have wonderful videos on there. Surprisingly, it's quite popular already. Some of my videos. Now, when I was doing these videos, it took me a year to get like 10,000 subscribers. To have people enjoy the videos. It was kind of in the beginning. I'm like, it would say like 10 views. I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be a long haul here. 1 subscriber a week. Now, I just started it. I got 50 subscribers already. I got 5,000 views on one video already. I mean, that's quite a, I don't even have only a few videos here. I've only got 5,000 views. So, it's taking off. So if you want to be a part of that, where I do some acting on there, I dress up as a wizard and I do these live streams and talk to people and talk about the land of Torah, the land of Faerun, my journeys in there. If you like that type of entertainment, and we also play our community D&D games on there as well. Let's see here. Where are we at? Is Gwendolyn here? I didn't see her. Is she here? I don't. She usually is here in the morning. Didn't see her come in here yet. But maybe my YouTube is off. Planker 8, justice belongs to the Lord. Your Lord is not one of justice. The idea of tormenting someone for eternity for stealing from a cookie jar is not justice. Tormenting people is not justice. That is wickedness. If we saw a leader of this world tormenting people for wrongdoing by burning them alive, we would find it appalling. That is not justice. Jay, you remember me? Wonderful. You meant Vixen. Oh, okay. The hardest thing was in your 12 when you did wrong. Swallow your pride and ego. It's like murder, getting a second chance. Yeah. When I fight with your dad, you often feel like you are both hypocrites. It happens, right? Buenos dias, the bard of all the bards. Good to see you, Crazy Carl. Good to have you here, our good friend, for your spiritual entertainment in the morning. Oh, my. Let's see here. I forgot to announce that I was live here on my, where are we? Announcements. I am live. I am live. I was supposed to do that. I forgot to do that. My channel over here. All right. Let's see here. Scrolling through your comments here. Jimmy, nice to see you. What was the Catholic seminary like? Boring. That's what it was. It was boring to me. It was very painful too. Sitting in a chair for 8 hours a day. I have arthritis, so it was a terrible experience for me doing it. But I met good people there, good friends, but they don't, obviously, some of them don't like what I'm doing now, right? One or two give me calls every now and then, but I am no longer a Christian, and they can't figure that out. Like, what happened to you? They think that, at my parish that I was at, the presbyter there was an asshole. So they think it's because of him. I mean, he didn't help. I'm sure if things worked out differently, I would have thought differently in life, but it is what it is, right? Um, let's see here. Tree nymphs. You like tree nymphs? There is a Celtic druidry with, yeah. The only thing I think I know about Slavic is maybe Vlathian Pele. Oh man, he was terrible, right? He was and also a champion for his people at the same time. Ivan the Terrible was something. If you know of the history of Russia, Ivan the Terrible he'd have like long religious ceremonies every morning, and then he'd go out and murder people. I mean, typical Christian, right? Jeez. Oh man. Slavic Orthodoxy. Check out Sergei Pagnaka. He was a Russian. One of my heroes in Russian Orthodoxy is Sergei Bulgakov. He was, because Sophiology impacted my Christian experience and how I understood the world. It helped me to become a druid eventually. Ducky Momo, nice to see you. Yeah, there is a need for common sense and inclusivity. Yeah, that's a big thing. Yeah. If I may ask, I'm not trying to be rude or stupid, but what acts led you to leave the church, led by people more than the teachings? I started seeing patterns that I thought were inappropriate. Early on, I became a Christian Universalist. In the Eastern Church, there are a lot of people who are Christian Universalists, that everyone is going to be saved. That is the idea that Jesus only saves you because you have the right ideas is inappropriate to me. And then I started seeing patterns of in the Bible that were inappropriate, like God telling people to kill children, and then seeing that this is not good. The things that were in the Bible I saw as forces of control rather than forces of enlightenment. And in going in biblical studies, realizing the God of the Bible is not good. The good God is up here, and I brought that to interpret the Bible from. But the Bible by itself is not a good book. In following its history, why it was formed, to control people. The Catholic Church continues this force of control, institutional Christianity, in all of its aspects. The idea of dogma is meant to control and dominate you, not heal you. The moment you question the dogma, what happens? You are not loved by God anymore. That should give it all. So I began to see these patterns. And I had when I became ordained, I had made a vow at the altar to teach the church teaching. And I kept violating that. So I'm like, well, I got to go. And I just don't feel like Christianity is a good fit for me. Now, the good things in Christianity I've taken with me, right? There's a lot of goodness in Christianity, but also a lot of evil. And that's how I understand Jesus. Jesus to me is like Socrates. Socrates didn't want a church. He wanted to bring wisdom into the world. And he was like one of the greatest figures in human history, right? So is the Christ. I think he is a revolutionary rather than a person who wants to control the world. Christianity to me is not a good thing. The Abrahamic religions are not good to me. And so that is why I am no longer a Christian. I'm certainly Christianized. Yeah, I guess I'm more of an agnostic than anything. Like I know Keredwin is my goddess. She is a spirit guide. She's a real person to me. The All Father is real to me. There's only one father, there's only one mother. These archetypes are very real to me. But I don't. Christianity to me is a great evil now in the world, controlling and manipulating people. Just look at how they act on here, some of them. Now, there's some good Christian people that are on here, right? But a lot of them are assholes. When your God is an asshole, you will be one too. I was an asshole. I knew lots of clergy who are assholes. It's because of how they understood God. Let's see here. Jojo, you feel more connected to animals and the earth to humans. I will cry longer and harder over animals dying than most humans. I don't feel connected to society. I feel connected to the earth. Well, Jojo, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're living in an illusion. If you cannot connect to humans, you cannot properly connect to animals. Yeah, something hurt you perhaps that doesn't allow you to see that there is only one web of life and we're all connected to it. You know, to love an animal more than a human is a contradiction. We love things differently, right? But if you cannot love your own humanity, you cannot properly love an animal. You are using animals in an inappropriate way. It is almost like a codependency I see within you. This is unhealthy. The way that you loving animals is wonderful, but the way you're doing it is inappropriate. So I would encourage you to learn to love yourself, to love other human beings. And then you will find that your love of the natural is complete because there is no separation. What is in an animal is in every human being. And not being able to love yourself and your humanity, you'll never be able to love other things properly. Jimmy, the fairy folk are here perhaps. Scott, good to see you. Good Superman Scott is here. Your canvas is strange. Why? Because I don't agree with your Christianity, right? Christianity is not true to me. Christianity is a system to manipulate and control people. The idea that you have to go around telling everybody it's true is the evidence. When something is true, when something is wonderful, people want it. The idea that you have to go around telling everyone it's true, the idea that you have to manipulate people with fear, tells me it is not true. My revelation is bunk. Well, you don't have to be here. You are revealing lots about yourself, about your religion. All right. There is a wild Slavic forest which called Baba Yaga. Yeah, that's a wonderful mythology as well, right? Vixen here has done a lot of research on the Baba Yaga, right? You have read some books and things you have shared with it. Good guy activism. Good to see you, our good friend. Good to have you here. A fellow YouTuber. Let's see. Baba Yaga is more like a demon force of influence. There's different mythologies around different characters in our history, like the Baba Yaga. There's different mythologies, some negative. Like look at the Pan. The Pan mythology. Some are negative, some are positive. Not all mythologies are the same. Not all mythologies are good. Not all mythologies are true. It's our stories that we tell about the world that we live in. That doesn't make them, face value truth, but they point to greater realities, different aspects. Jojo, you have such respect and love for trees. Watching someone cut one down feels like watch a saw off limb. Yeah, your vision of trees is inappropriate. How people cut down trees is important. The trees are here to give of themselves. The spirit of a tree is a spirit of reincarnation. How you receive from a tree should be one of nourishment. We need to cut down trees. The trees want to be cut down because they want to give to us, but not in a way that is, let's say, not a respectful way. The idea of just wiping out forests, is inappropriate. The idea of coming to a tree and say, good tree, spirit of this tree, I need to build a home. Please let me receive from you. That's appropriate, right? And we should have the same mentality in giving back to the world. We are going to die. The way you die is important. You should want to give back to the soil. But what do we have? We have all these people pumping themselves with formaldehyde, trying to preserve their bodies in a rotting, festering tomb that destroys the environment. Right? Some of these coffins are no good. You should want to be buried in a natural way in which you can contribute back to the world. That's my opinion. Some of you like festering corpses locked up in a sealed tomb. The tree gives. The tree is the giver. Now, the idea of conservation is that when you take, you give back. That is very important. We give to one another. I'm not going to be here forever. I want to give back to the world. Now, certain trees, the idea of an ancient forest, you shouldn't be cutting that shit down. Now, if I lived in an ancient world where I had no way to go to another place to receive from different types of trees, that's all that I would have. Like if I was a primitive person living in a redwood forest, that's all that's there for me. That is meant to give, right? It's how you cut down the trees. That's important. The spirit of the tree is one of giving to you in all of its aspects, in all of its ways. That's very important. Christianity has been corrupted. I agree. The trees do not scream. That is your illusion. Trees do not scream. Trees give gracefully. The spirit of the tree is not one of like a human spirit. They don't have nerve endings that allow them to cry out in pain. They don't respond that way. You are misinformed about the nature of a tree. You are putting your humanity that has been tortured. You have been tortured in your life in some way, and you are putting that on the idea of the tree. That is something you need to be healed from. That is not a reality for the tree. Let's see here. Trees are more rare than diamonds in the span of things. Well, they can be. They certainly can be. Damn, Father, I had a similar experience with woods and trees. I slept in a tent in the garden for a year, rustling the branches, noise of 1,000 whisperings, reaching out to you. Yeah. The spirit of the tree is not bound to the tree. The spirit of the grove manifests to the trees, but the spirit of the grove is free. You have to see the trees always come back. Why aren't you crazy about the grass blades that you step on? Sometimes you kill, you urinate on them, they are gone, right? The way you are thinking about the world is inappropriate. Not you, Kiki, the other person. I'm putting out cheap bait because you know what trees. No, WEW on LMMOAO. I'm not putting out cheap bait here. I'm putting out my life, and you're being an asshole. Being an asshole is cheap bait. I don't play your childish games here. You need to grow up, sir. Let's see here. Where are we at here? I hope your evidence isn't the Old Testament. Yeah, the Old Testament is terrible. What does the symbol around your medallion mean? This is a triskelion. It is one of the most ancient Celtic symbols in the world. For me, it means divinity, father, mother, child. That's how some of my ancestors understood divinity. Oh, let's see here. Nicholas, good to see you. Nicholas Meek, good to see you here. Yeah. There was a blind woman, a Ukrainian visionary. Yeah, I forgot what her name was. You can speculate that Bulgarians are from Bulgar Khaganate, makes them closer to the Kavinian Rus historically, but it's still a different time period. Yeah, perhaps. Oh, let's see here. Scrolling. If divinity is not in heaven and is already here, what happens when you die? You are here. You don't go to some mystical place in the sky. Everything that is you have to think of the world that you live in. We know from our sciences that there are layers of perception. Like I cannot perceive the Wi-Fi signal here. You have to think of the nature of the world you live in as layered, that there's boundaries. Think about diving in the ocean. You can swim in the ocean, right? But if you want to go deeper, you have to have the right equipment. This is how I see the world and spirituality. Spirituality is going deeper in what is already present. There are no heavens. Everything is here. Demon, good to see you, our good friend, the Demon. Good to have you here. All right. You're going to school for herbology. That's a wonderful profession. You want to learn how nature's language speaks more than everything. Yeah, that's important because the way that you're interpreting nature is not how it speaks. You are putting your mentality into the natural, and that's unhealthy. See where are we at here? All that matters in this life is pizza, lactose intolerance, baby. Yeah, pizza's wonderful, isn't it? Yeah, my children love pizza. If they could eat pizza every day, I'm sure I would too. I'd be 1,000 pounds probably, right? Let's see here. EGE Samuel, nice to see you. I'm so in awe right now of all the wise and educated and deep, authentic people here. No wonder I am drawn here all the time. Yeah, we are glad that you are here with us, our good friend, the Kiki, and all of your expertise. Jojo, it actually baffles you how seemingly almost all humans are perfectly fine with the fact that if we disappeared from the face of the earth, it would be better off without us. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. That is a false, and evil teaching. I am just as much needed here as the rock, and the rock vice versa. You are part of the web of life, and your presence here is very important. Its manifestation here is part of this ongoing evolution of the cycles of our world. So to think that the world would be better off is a evil philosophy. Now, people do bad shit, but just because you do bad shit doesn't erase your value here. I am against that. That is a false and evil belief. All the synchronicity. You're eating pizza today? Look at that. Yeah, every now and then we have these wonderful comedic synchronicities. Like I will say something, to give you an example, like last week we had a person named our good friend Captain Picard comes on here. Who comes on after him? The Borg. Stuff like that. Very entertaining synchronicities that the goddess brings about here, right? They're more pepper now. Let's see. Without us, we should be living the way we should live in a way where we leave a positive impact on the planet. Yeah, that's how we should live. Human greed is a great evil in this world. And it's something that we need to overcome, right? It's something that we need to evolve from. But Jojo, we don't evolve from guilt trips. The way that you're doing it is inappropriate, my friend. Scowl Brodinier, good to see you, Harley. The shadow self, yeah. School Brodia brother. Skull brother, yeah. Sending a rock in the middle woods, smoking a bowl is your church. Yeah. And my church is my grove, yeah. That's how I see it. Pour yourself a drink, yes. Keridwen is our queen here, Howard. Keridwen is my goddess. This is her cauldron here. I never know how what God to pray to, so I pray to Mother Nature. That is deity there, right? The Great Mother. You're a Leo. All your best friends have been Cancers. It's a trend you've noticed in your life. Yeah. Well, I hope that my criticism of you is not hurtful. It is not meant to hurt you. I want to be your friend, and therefore I must speak my truths to you. Yeah. Oh, man. There's no wickedness here. I don't want to come to you. Your Christ to me is evil, the way that you're talking about it. Your Christ is evil to me. Consciousness cookie monster. You often clash with Cancers. Well, we've always had a good time here, Kiki. Have I clashed with you? Right? You're a fellow dragon? Yeah. The fire dragon. There's lots of dragons in the Chinese zodiac, right? Oh, damn. I'm about 30 minutes behind in the chat, but I will get to your comments. I appreciate all you people here. Like and subscribe. I do this every day. Join our Discord community. We can have all kinds of wonderful discussions on there. There's a join button. Just for the price of a cup of coffee, you could support what I do. You know, if you like what I do, I do this for a living. So I've moved on from ramen noodles because of all of your support. I'm able to order a pizza now. Thank you. Why do you have a cult symbol in the background? Because of people like you. It's supposed to make you Christian fundamentalists, you are afraid of the pentacle. So I have it in the back to frighten you away. It's kind of like a scarecrow in your garden, right? So I put the pentacle to scare the Christian fundamentalists away. But unfortunately, it's just drawing you here. You get all riled up like, oh no, it's the devil here. What are we going to do? I must go save souls here. Let's see here. Oh, where are we at here? There. I have a very, very hard time meditating. I don't think I've ever actually done it. You've been feeling, in short, next to zero, to control your thoughts. Don't control your thoughts. Choose to think differently about yourself. You can't control what's coming on. It's how you deal with what comes to you. You know, sometimes our imagination is out of control and doesn't. When you practice meditation, it allows you to get control of what's going on in here. It's very important for your health that you learn to meditate. And there's all kinds of ways to start doing it. There's all kinds of wonderful teachings out there that can help you thrive in meditation. You don't have to do it for long. You can do it for a long time if you wish, but it's good to turn the mind off sometimes, right? The mind sometimes is like a drill. It wants to dominate you. It wants to run your life, right? The mind is a faculty that belongs to you. When you let it control you all the time, it's just like the stomach, right? The stomach tells you it is time to eat. When you start living by your stomach, what happens? You become 1,000 pounds, right? But when you say to the stomach, no, I'm not going to eat, right? You take charge of your life. The brain, the faculty of your mind, when you learn to put it in its place, when you say it is proper to use you now, right? You can't escape your mind. But in meditation, you learn to control the flow of your experience of the mind. When I say mind, I'm talking about the ability to reason. The ability to reason is important, but sometimes it is unnecessary. You're always trying to control. This gets out of hand. It really does. Meditation allows you to have a better perspective of its use. You're arguing with yourself in your own head. Yeah, you don't have to do that, right? You know, Bart, I flipped through these people on here, and you are one of the most entertaining. I also went to confession on Saturday. I feel better. Well, good for you, Mordecai. I'm glad that you find entertainment. The idea of confession to me is a way to control you. That's why I am against it. It has the positive aspect of confession is there's healing there. But the way that the church does it, you have all of this guilt all the time. God is always pissed off. And if you don't confess, you are doomed. I mean, to me, that is bullshit. Let's see. The pentangle is the Jewish symbol. See, there we go again. You have these people asking me if I'm Jewish all the time because of the pentangle. It is not a Jewish symbol, sir. Oh, man. I'm living in an illusion. Feels like delusion most of the time to you. Well, you can be healed, Jojo. You can be healed. You can be healed. It's on the flag of Morocco. It's a Muslim symbol as well. Look at that. Fire, water, earth, spirit, all to God. That's right. That's right. You are not separated from divinity. Don't believe the bullshit of the Abrahamic religions that you are separated from the divine. You are not separated from anything. They want you to believe that because they want to control you. They say, you are separated, but we can fix that for you. This is a scam. This is a scam. This channel is Gryffindor. It can be. I'm more of a Slytherin myself. A Ravenclaw. You think it's a Ravenclaw? Ravenclaw? Yeah, I think it's more of a Slytherin. A bit of Slytherin for good balance. So it's a mixture of all of the houses, right? The Polish equivalent to Baba Yaga will apparently have to dig some more. Okay. True peace comes from when you realize nothing matters and you live your best life without stressing the bullshit. That is not peaceful. Everything matters. You matter. I think that's inappropriate to think that nothing matters. You matter. You are worthy. You are important. You have value. You matter. You matter. Let's see here. In China, the pentagram is the Wujia Oxing, the balance of forces. Interesting. I did not know that. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, this is a powerful symbol, the pentacle, right? You are a bit multidimensional. You don't think the spiritual world, the problem is the crazy contrast with the normal. Yeah, certainly. The 5 elements in China are represented in this. Interesting. What are we talking about? Whatever you want to talk about. I am your entertainer leading the discussion. You found the pentagram in a book of ninjutsu. Look at that. Look at that. It is a universal symbol. You should record these and make clips. That was a clippable moment. Go ahead. Anyone can make clips of my program, and many people do. I saw a bunch of old ones that are on there. You're free to make a clip on here and share it to your heart's leisure. Right? I am not a Wiccan, Lebra de Morino. I am not a Wiccan, no. I practice druidry. I am a member of Obit, the order of bards, ovites, and druids. I am a bard. That is what I am. Celadwin is queen here, the world goblin, as you call yourself. Let's see here. Do I practice divination? Yes, I do. I read runes. I do this. I am not an expert at it, but it is a way of life. Sometimes the runes, when they often appear backwards, right? You think negatively. It doesn't have to be a negative. It's how you interpret the backwardness of the rune, right? So I'm learning all of these different ways to interpret runes. When I use them, I don't mess around with them. When I pull a rune, that's how I'm going to act. That's very important when you are doing divination, that you don't bullshit yourself, right? That the inner energy, if you're bullshitting, you're only drawing to get what you want. You are misusing. You won't have the value. When I pull a rune, this is the direction I'm going to. Like everything I've done here on my channel, I consult the runes. So yeah, I like the runes. They're very simple to use, and they have a mythology, which is very important. Other forms of divination, like the tarot, doesn't have a mythology. The runes, they come from, Odin, right? And I'm not a Norse pagan. I practice Celtic spirituality, but I found that the Celtic Ogam isn't for me. Neither is the tarot. These for me the runes are the way I use divination. Uh, you pissed in your shampoo bottle? No, that's not a good habit to do. Yeah. Let's see here. Bitterly fighting cat. Did you hear about the Episcopal bishop in Minnesota who is preparing wills for his clergy? He is asking them to stand between ICE and the protesters. I think that's inappropriate when clergy members get political. I really do. Because you cannot heal your community that are making bad choices when you force them. My mods are sad. Why do you say that? I'm going to kick you out. I can't like that. Why are my mods sad? I'll kick your ass out if you don't. You better have an explanation. I know that you are here. My mods are wonderful. My mods are not sad. You better have an explanation for that. Now, we had an inappropriate mod that we have removed. He was inappropriate. I agree. But my mods here are wonderful, and I'm going to kick your ass out. When I get to the end of the chat here, if you don't give an explanation of your behavior, anybody that talks shit about my mods, I remove you immediately. That is inappropriate. My mods, they are hard at work on here all the time, and especially on our Discord channel, right? My mods are always at hard work, and they do it for free. One day I'd like to pay them, when I make it big time on the YouTube. But out of their goodness, they volunteer their services. And I'm certainly going to remove you if you don't explain yourself, Burrito. I will ban you from the channel if you don't explain yourself, if you don't try to work this out. You're going to be, when I get to the end of the chat here, I will ban you if I don't see an explanation. I'm speaking facts. Thank you. Yeah, we don't do politics here. Michelle is here looking for Christian fundamentalist victims. Michelle is one of these atheists that come on and like to make fun of these Christian fundamentalists. We don't have too many on today, Michelle. Sorry. My grinder buddy Steve is here. Good to see you, Steve. Low quality advice. Well, don't take it. You don't have to be here. I'm not always right. If you don't like my sharing of my words, you don't have to be here. I don't care. But to me, you're just being a dick. That's what I see. What are my pronouns? F and FU. That's my pronouns to you. Wouldn't that Mary and Joseph be divine? We're all divine. Yeah. Let's see. What's with the star? It's used to make Christian fundamentalists run in terror and fear. Oh, let's see here. Where are we at? That's what you're trying to figure out here. We're all trying to. It actually makes zero sense to call Jesus king. Divine, sure, that works, but king, yeah. That's some of the mythology was about that, right? Your Bible is a great book. Well, the way you're presenting it doesn't make it interesting to anyone here. You're just being a dick. No one's going to be interested in your Bible when you're being a dick about it, right? Where are we at here? People like this love to avoid Satan as a topic when it comes to sin, because Satan is the made-up boogeyman of the Bible that does all of the dirty work of the God. Sin is bullshit. There is no God who is pissed off at you. This is the scam of the Christians. What is the druidic interpretation of the story of St. Peter? There is no interpretation. Druidry is just earth-based spirituality. You can interpret whatever you want. Yeah, I would say that if you wanted to define me, I'd be agnostic, That is appropriate. Satan is controlling my life. I don't think so. I think you're being controlled, because what do? Nazia, you come on here and bitch every day about your religion. You're being controlled to me. Normal people just move on. Like, I don't like what you're saying. Screw you. I'll move on. But not you, Nazia. You come on here and whine every day about your religion. St. Patrick of Ireland, he was a person that went and destroyed a lot of the stuff my ancestors were doing. He is no hero to me. No. St. Patrick to me is no good. He is part of the propaganda of the church to destroy. And how did they do that? They stole our gods. They stole our places of worship. Like Bridget, right? We're going to be celebrating our goddess Bridget February 1st. What did the Christians do? They made her a saint, Saint Bridget. They took her symbols and feast day. I am not a fan of St. Patrick. Now, he is a symbol of Irish culture, certainly. That is a good thing. But, he was not a good person. He was an agent of destruction. That's how I see these missionaries. They go to destroy the culture of the people. They don't go to heal. Let's see here. Well, Cosmos, good to see you. Good to have you here. We are dancing in the dark here. And Loka Brina, good to see you. Let's see here. Keep the energy on Judgment Day. Screw your God. That is my energy towards you. There is no fear here. You're not going to scare me into your religion. I don't accept your destiny of humanity. Pascal's wager, utter bullshit. The idea that you can think about that. If Pascal's wager was real, why not just believe in it, just in case, right? Do you think you're going to fool the God at the end? Well, I believed in these ideas. Most Christians, they live the Pascal's wager, right? They are not interested in the God at all. They are only there to get out of the hellfire. If you take away the hellfire out of Christianity, there would be no more Christianity. The church would fall apart, right? This is the scam. Pascal's wager is a scam. There is no eternal damnation. There is no God who is going to torture you. There is only a deity who loves you. No, I'm not a Satanist. You could say that billions of testimonies near death. You are generalizing ill. You are saying that all of these people with near-death experiences are trustworthy. They are not. Near-death experiences are not death. They are a DMT dump upon your brain. They're all subjective, all of them. No one has died. If you die, you don't come back. DMT is the experience of near-death experience. That's not evidence. Near-death experiences are not evidence. If you go over to India, for instance, their near-death experiences are Hindu gods, right? The same thing with Islam. They go see Allah, Buddhism, same thing. DMT is the near-death experience. It is all subjective. These people who come back from hell or whatever, this is all a personal experience. They are the source of their afterlife. It is all subjective. Let's see here. The spiritual world is real, and it's here. It's not some other place. That is a bullshit lie that you Christians make up, that there is another world. This is the only world, and it is spiritual. I love this guy to debate a theologian. I was a theologian. When I was a Christian for 30 years, I worked as a theologian in my church before I was ordained. I was a Catholic apologist. Debating is for children. I know the Bible theology quite well. I have a whole library of theological manuals. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, really. You want to see me debate a theologian? I was a theologian. Let's see. Just wanted to say I really enjoy your live. Your views on life and religion are amazing, very inspiring. Thank you. I appreciate you, Scott. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate all of you people who come here for your daily dose of spiritual entertainment. I do this every morning, just about. I'll be here all morning. I don't do evening shows anymore, unless I can't do one in the morning. Like if I have a doctor's appointment, I will do an evening show. So some of you will miss that, I know. A lot of comedy in our evening shows, right? Well, I've changed the aspect of that. On my Dungeons and Dragons stream, that's where more of the comedy will be. When I'm a wizard, you will see. So go check out my Dungeons and Dragons YouTube channel at Realm Space. If you want some comedy in the evening, that's where you'll find it. And I'll do that like once a week. I will do a comedy show on there. More of a storytelling, really. But I'll keep having conversations with people here as a wizard. If you like my comedy. My morning shows are very serious, right? Not as much comedy as my evening shows. And I know some of you will miss that, right? Because I felt it was time just to do evening, to move on from some of the things I was doing. Certainly we have comedy here, right? You like it when I roast people here in the morning that are being a nuisance. The demiurge was harsh, but not Jesus Christ. Well, the Jesus Christ of the canonical Gospels is not a good Jesus Christ. He is one who tells you that his father torments people in fire. If my children went out to my neighborhood and said, "Be afraid of my dad, he torments you in fire," they'd call the police, right? The canonical Christ is not the real one. The canonical Christ is the Christ of the institution of the church. That you want a good Christ, go to the Gnostic Gospels. That's where you'll find a much better Christ. Separation from God is your choice. Blame hell on yourself. That is utter bullshit. Imagine me as a father letting my children jump in a fire pit. I would be evil, right? There is no choice for hell when he creates the problem of hell. Your philosophy is utter bullshit, right? Utter bullshit. Yeah, the Old Testament is full of God being evil. And the New Testament. Don't forget, if you don't have theological goggles on and you read the Bible from beginning to end, Old Testament and New, you have a God who torments his people in the Old. When he gets to the New, now he's tormenting everyone and for all eternity. I mean, it's not a good book. It is not a good book. Let's see here. You've sacked a lot of dinner plate animals for yourself. You consume human energy. Good for you. Let's see. You were a foolish man who built himself in a lava flow. Whatever. All right. Let's see here. Where am I at? Yeah, I believe Jesus was a good person, but not what we have written about him is not good. I think he brought a revolution into the world. But the church, they hijacked his teachings to control and manipulate you. That happens a lot. We have people that take other people's teachings and they use it to manipulate you. This happens in humanity, right? Oh, where am I at here? Is Gwendolyn here yet? There she is. The high priestess of the orchard is here. Gwendolyn, Aes Sedai. Good to see you, our good friend. All right. Let's see, where are we at here? To be a Christian is to be Christ-like. And being Christ-like is not manipulating and controlling people. It's being what you naturally are as a human being, kind and loving and virtuous, and not going around scaring the shit out of everyone with hellfire. You're going to burn or else. That is not Christ-like. That's being a manipulator. Oh, my. Can the bird translate? What does that mean? What is it? What kind of juju is going on here? Entertainment, Adi. Entertainment. In nature, it's reaping and sowing, yeah. You want to be buried under your birch tree. Yeah, so do I. I would like to be buried in my grove, but I don't think the state of Florida would appreciate that. Um, can you show me anywhere where Jesus Christ is bad? And the canonical Gospels, yes. I just gave you an example. He tells people, beware of my Father who can destroy you in fire, both soul and body. That is an evil thing to say about a father. It is a terrible thing, and it is not true. The All-Father does not torment people. That is a wicked and evil thing. There's plenty of examples. I did a whole show of the evil sayings of the New Testament Christ. There's several of them. The idea of hate your mother and father and follow me. That's what a person who wants to control you would tell you. Another one is, if you don't believe in me, you will be condemned. That's not how fathers work. My children don't need to believe in me at all. I'm not going to condemn them. It is a farce. The New Testament canon is a farce. They have good stuff within all bullshit of religion. There's good stuff in there, but most of it is bad. The scribe, good to see you. Prostate exam, good to see you, our good friend. What happened to Finn? Darth Raven, he was here yesterday. He has like 5 different accounts that he comes on. Has anyone seen our good friend Finn? He has not been on in over a week. We miss you, Finn, if you're out there. Let's see here. Where are we going here? Cosmos, you have an immensely hard time accepting the inherent evil that seemingly permits through our humanity, the greed and the love for the profit and everything else, seemingly. All right, think about it this way, Jojo, right? Think about a wolf. Now, is it evil for a wolf to go around terrorizing people, right? A wolf would do that, right? Like if it has rabies, right? That is inappropriate for a wolf to go around terrorizing a neighborhood. But when it's in its natural environment of thriving, wolves they bind with their mates for life. They protect their children. But if a wolf has rabies, it goes astray, right? Sometimes humans get like a spiritual form of rabies. And through ideology, through experiences, where they make terrible decisions. That doesn't take away from their goodness and value that they have by nature. So the idea of inherently evil is not real. It's gone astray is the real reality, right? Something has happened. Humanity is wonderful. That is our nature. It is wonderful. It is not evil. Let's see here. You slept in a hydro tent for weed? That sounds like an interesting experience, Michael. There is no salvation outside of Christ Jesus. There is no salvation at all. That's made up by you people. There's no sin. There's no pissed off deity. You people make that shit up. You can't prove it. You can't prove that God is pissed off. Our ancestors, they thought when an earthquake happened, God is pissed off. You cannot prove that. You cannot prove that God is pissed off. Let's see here. Scrolling through. Where are we at here? Jesus Christ came to fulfill. You can't prove that. You can't prove it. Can you? This is the only equipment is wearing Christ as your divine suit. The Christ consciousness. Yeah. Finn got upset one day and stormed off and didn't talk much. I don't know what happened. Also, yeah, Finn gets in these moods, right? And hopefully he'll come back to us. Yeah, I tried to send him a message. He doesn't receive messages on his Discord. I think he's still in our community, but he's not responding. Oh, well, we miss you, Finn, if you're out there. Let's see. God the Father creates good and evil. What an evil God then. A God that needs to create evil is evil in my book. I'm always grateful for your input and words, even if it hurts a little sometimes. Yeah, it's okay. I appreciate your honesty. Yeah, I don't say it to hurt you, right, Jojo? I say it to make you a better person, right? I just think you are, you could see things better in your life. All right, where are we at here? Let's see here. What is he saying here? You deleted me. Where are we at here? Lady must have been a Nora? I don't know what that is. You made pizza last night. You put it in the fridge. Yeah, what a delightful treat, right? What a delightful treat. Oh, man. I try to. You still have a lot of learning and growing to do. I can definitely admit that. Me too. I mean, I'm not perfect, right? We need one another to learn from, right? We need one to learn from. Let's see here. Where are we going here? Green Knight Tales, good to see you. Yeah, good to have you here, our good friend. Let's see here. Yeah, you get synchronicities here all the time. All the time. Pizza is like faith. You can't have it flop all the time. Oh, jeez. Oh, my. Oh, my. Shit. YouTube is taking some of my comments away. It's like, you're too far behind. We're going to catch you up. All right, I'll try, YouTube. So if I did not greet you yet, I apologize. YouTube just does what it wants here sometimes, because I get too far behind in the comments. Loopy after the dock. Good to see you, our good friend. Good to see you. The tarot has sort of a mythology, but it's more general archetypes. Yeah. All life is meditation, certainly. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the burrito person here. Maybe they've been invaded. Go for it. Okay, goodbye. You have been removed from the channel, Mr. Burrito, forever. Sorry about that. You said go for it. I said I was going to remove you. You did not explain your behavior. So now you are gone for good. Goodbye. I don't take shit from people that say my moderators are no good. Yeah, I will kick you out. I don't take any shit with that. Let's see here. All right. Where are we going here? Why are you dressed like a Catholic priest from the Air Kingdom? Well, the clergy shirt is not just for Catholics. All right. Appreciate it. Let's see. Where are we at here? No reason to bash anyone who thinks differently. Yeah. Deity pudding. Good to see you. Good to have you here. What a proper deity. One made of pudding, right? Here where I live, it's all about drugs, alcohol, money, cars. You live a good person, you get shit on. Yeah, sometimes we live in a concrete jungle, right? But that doesn't take away your responsibility for being good. Just because shit is happening doesn't mean that you should not be good, right? Let's see here. Let's see. You get sober and clean. You see how many friends you got left. Yeah, well, then you don't need them. If your sobriety, that means they were only using you, right? If you being a good person, you lose friends, then they weren't really your friends. It's kind of like when I left the church. All these people were my friends when I was in the church, right? When I left the church, they don't talk to me anymore. They didn't care about me. They cared about this here. You don't need them. They are there using you as an object. Sometimes you must take that solitary path to make your impact in the world, right? But there are people around. There, friendships, they will come your way. Oh, where are we at here? You're an atheist, but I'd watch you to learn more on theology, not to be offensive. Well, glad that you are here. We have lots of atheists that watch me. Uh, I've learned a lot from our wonderful atheists in the world, like Christopher Hitchens, who's a great influence. Yeah, Richard Dawkins. Yeah. Let's see. Where are we at? Does Father have other pagans around? Of course. Pagans are all around me. I don't consider myself a pagan. I don't do any like rituals or anything. Just because I have a goddess doesn't make me a pagan. I don't do anything for her in terms of ritual. She came to me, so therefore she's a part of my life. I don't wear pagan rituals and things. I don't do any of that. Oh, let's see here. Oh, where are we at here? Where are we at? Hell, yeah, folks forgot Satan is a Christian deity. Yeah, he is the boogeyman of the Bible, right? He does all of the dirty work for the deity. Don't bother. Derek, nice to see you. Nice to see you, Derek. Good to have you here, our good friend. Just turn the teaching of the Bible into metaphors. Yeah, when it's a mythology, it's fine. But when you make it the word of God, that's when it becomes an evil, right? So much Celtic mythology was lost and survived, recorded by Christian scholars. So it's biased, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot that has been lost to us, right? Oh, where are we at here? There were no snakes in Ireland. There never has been. The snakes they were talking about the druids, yeah. The evils of Christianity, destroying people's cultures, murdering their citizens, torturing them. It's all there. They would still do that shit today, right? If they could get away with it. But we have laws, right? Where am I from? I am from America. I live in what is called the penis of the United States, Florida, because it sticks out in the bottom. That's where I am. Central Florida is where I'm from. You were dead twice. Let's see. You had surgery, you experienced death. Yeah. I had a near-death experience when I was younger as well. It was just darkness. Yeah. And I remembered it. Can you call in? No, we don't do call-ins here. That would be fun to do. Maybe in the future when I get better technology, when I get a studio and stuff and a staff, maybe you can get me there. Like and subscribe. Join our Discord server. Become a community member for the price of a cup of coffee. I didn't time out. Let's see here. Where are we at here? You had a drowning? Oh, man. Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. You want me to debate you? Debating is for children. No, thank you. You have all of these. See, people like you, when you say, I want to debate, you mean, I want to hear myself talk. I don't care about what the other person has to say. I want to hear myself talk. Your debate does not come from the benefit of the other person. It only benefits yourself. I mean, to me, that is childish. Let's see here. Yeah. You're not sure you agree with the DMT take? Well, we can all have our opinion on it, right? Let's see here. I seek a respect, folks, practice and respect passed on to elders. Yeah, respect is a good thing, right? Goes a long way. You have 38 years in. Good for you. Good for you. How do you deal with the star behind you? You're scared of it. Then you must be a Christian fundamentalist. I put it there to scare people like you away. Yeah. If you are afraid of it. It's just a star in a circle. It can't hurt you. But I use it to make the Christians run in terror because they think everything is the devil, right? All right. Yeah, people act like children on here sometimes, right? Oh, let's see here. Coffee House Philosopher. We are the people who you do not like or agree with. You still insist on watching your show? Any idea? Personally, I am an atheist, but I don't care what another. See, you're a normal atheist, right? We have all kinds that come on here. You have the atheist fundamentalists that they left Christian fundamentalism and now they go and whine and bitch on religious channels all the time, right? Oh, man. Let's see, he put a coffee in his burrito. You like waffles, Oak Hill Hermit? I bet you do. I bet you do. Oh, man. Where are we at here? I can't seem to locate where you are in the chat. Yeah, I'm far behind. I see. This is my problem. I like talking to people, and it puts me behind, right? So I apologize. It takes me a while to get through these. There's a couple thousands. Usually, every show there's a few thousand comments, and I try to get to them, right? Oh man, yeah. You died 3 times and you are back alive. In your car accident, what do I do? You live, right? That's what you do. You live. If you die 3 times, you are back. What do? You live. There he is. Captain Jean-Luc Picard is here. Good to see you, our good friend. Oh, let's see here. As far as you're concerned, your body can be used forever, whatever. When I'm gone, I won't care because you'll be dead. Yeah. Let's see here. When your dad died, you had him cremated and you didn't have any money for a fancy funeral. You wanted to be scattered in the ocean. That's a good thing, right? People like to be scattered in various places. Yeah. Father, I have a Hindu neighbor. Should I tell him about Jesus? No, let him tell you about Krishna. Let him tell you about Krishna. They're the same. Where are we at here? You like finding wisdom in all mythologies. So do I. And I've learned that it's a mythology. We wrote it. It has things that point you in a direction, but it should not be used to say this is how the deity really is. I don't see, like, for instance, Zeus going around raping people all the time. I don't think that is real. There's a greater reality in the mythology that teaches you about the world that you live in. Let's see. Multiple accounts kill you. Say true to the Steve Dave brand. Yeah, I've only have one extra account because it was messing up my algorithm, my Dungeons and Dragons stuff. And I found it's been very helpful just to focus on that over there and to focus only on druidry here. So it was a hard decision to make, but it was affecting my algorithm. 2 weeks back, I only had just under 100 subscribers. I'm like, what's going on? But now I'm back on track. We had 600 last week. Yesterday we had 150. We are back on track for growth because I separated all of my D&D stuff out. Father, I would like to ask a genuine question. Sometimes I engulf myself in darkness and thoughts, the complete abyss in my thinking of afterlife. And I'm so afraid. Can you help me lose this feeling? No, I cannot. You are choosing to have it. I cannot stop you. You are choosing to think that way. You need to take responsibility. And how do you do that? Derek. Now, I don't know what the hell's going to happen to me in the afterlife. No one does. But one thing I am certain of is that I am loved. I am loved now, and I certainly will be loved then. Dying is scary, right? But the idea of Derek, to realize that you're loved, that you were loved before you came into this world, that love that never leaves, no matter what you have done, and to trust that love, that everything's going to be okay, that takes courage to do. It's easy to be negative about dying, right? And the afterlife. But when you base your decision, well, it's going to be scary, but I'm loved. Having the courage to know that you're loved helps you to deal with all of these evil things that people have taught you about yourself, that you are going to hell and demons are going to get you and shit like that. You have to recondition the way you think about your life. And you do that because you practice understanding that you are loved. I think it's very important. Yeah, you have mythology on your channel. Yeah, Green Knight Tales. We appreciate your channel. I stopped in yesterday to say hello. Let's see here. Where am I going? Lewis is here. Good to see our good friend Lewis, our morning astrologer. Lewis is here, expert at. He is quite popular in the cannabis world. He is a person that is a voice of cannabis legislation, cannabis unity. He has a wonderful community out there that he's a part of to celebrate the reefer. And we are glad that you are here with us, Lewis. Yeah, we love your shorts on mythology. Yeah. My moon has disappeared. Oh no, what has happened? Humans forget they are animals? Yeah, we are all animals. And being an animal is not bad. Let's see. Dogma is a Christian thing, yeah, to control. Are those the only clothes you own? Yes, yeah, they are. And most of the time when I'm not on my show, I run around naked in the woods. Yeah. Hurricane Katrina was caused by the sin of homosexuality, according to some churches. Yeah. These Christians are so sick in the head, right? God is judging America. Yeah, that is such stupidity. Such stupidity, right? Yeah, so stupid. You're getting Gary to come home. Oh, man. Oh, Gary, we miss you. Where are you? He was on last week. He was getting all pissed off again when he was on here. Like, Gary, we love you. Go do something about that. Um, uh, let's see here. The good and evil have no purpose. Evil has no purpose. No. Evil is a thing that is a mischoice, a misguidance. It is evil is not good. The idea of a God who needs evil in the world to bring good out of it is a pathetic one, and that is the God of the Christian. He needs evil in here to bring good out of it. Yeah, that's terrible, terrible belief. I'm spreading the false gospel. I'm not spreading any religion here, sir. Only you are. You have brought your bullshit with you. This is spiritual entertainment, nothing more, nothing less. That puts a whole new spin on It's Raining Men, the hurricane, right? It's raining men. Oh man. Yeah, we had some wonderful poetry by Gwendolyn for Gary. Quite entertaining. Oh man, where am I at here? So far behind. So far behind in the chat. But I tried to talk to everyone here. Let me cut through some of these comments here because there's too many. There's too many here. You shall do your ritual and coffee. You got your coffee and reefer ready for your morning entertainment. This is devil worship. Where? Where are the devils here? You will bring the devils with you. There's no devil worship here. Oh, man. Let's see. Where are we at? I know, I just noticed the robes with the jacket combo. Looks like very cool, like an exorcist. Yeah, this is my hoodie. It is 60 degrees in my house right now. I'm quite cold. I have my long sleeved clergy shirt on this morning because I am cold. People in Florida, a lot of us don't have heaters, and it's 30 degrees outside last night. So it's 60 degrees in my house. We are all wearing sweaters. So that is the way of things down here in the South. Step into the pentagram. Yeah, why not? Go ahead. Are you a druid? I practice druidry, yes. I practice druidry. Donald. Father, do you have clergy fellows? Not no more. Most of them don't talk to me because I'm an apostate. Yeah. One or two of them will shoot me a text every now and then or give me a call or something. But a lot of them, I am the enemy now because I am an apostate. I teach against the Catholic Church. You lost a lot of friends lately. They weren't aligned with your current state. It's okay. Yeah. Inquisitor Bacon is here. Good to see you. Making sure everything is not kosher. Our good friend, the Inquisitor Bacon. All right. Where are we at here? Winter is the perfect time to be a hermit. Eat roots and read. Yes. Are you getting any snow? No, there's no snow here. I have only seen snow once in Florida where I live. It wasn't even really, it was like a hiccup of snow. Little tiny particles. And that was in 1999. That was a law. I haven't seen any since where I live. I live right outside of Orlando, right in Central Florida. Oh, let's see here. Where are we at? Looks like northern Florida. It gets snow. Yeah. Now I get frost on my windshield. But no snow today. Now Central Florida blew your mind. Yeah. It's cold here. It's quite cold. We can do a call-in days once a week or something. Yeah, it would be fun to do. Yeah, when I get the technology. I have a question. The pentagram, does it have any meaning? I think about the 7 sins or the 5 points. Well, it depends on who's using it, right? For druidry, the pentacle is a sacred symbol. It has various purposes and various meanings for ritual magic. Yeah. You went to several years ago to Florida. You got snow up. Your family could make a snowman. Yeah, northern Florida gets snow. Where I am too close to the equator here in Central Florida. Tricky Ricky, good to see you, our good friend. Good to have you here. Your words are like seeds being planted within. You share perspective and insight and experience. It's up to us to nurture and to grow these teachings. I am very grateful I found your channel. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Jojo. I appreciate you sharing it. Makes me feel good that that I have purpose in helping you. Thank you. I learn from all of you. You make me feel good. Thank you. It snowed in Florida yesterday, probably in the northern part. I have yet to go outside, so maybe it did snow in Central Florida. Did it snow? I don't know. My wife, are you up, wife? No. Did it snow outside yesterday? No, I don't know. She doesn't know either. Yeah, fire, water, and spirit. Yeah, these are the 5 elements, right? Usually in philosophy and mythology. You'll be in Florida in Tampa Bay the 8th to the work for work. Yeah, that's Tampa's a beautiful place. Steal a snowman in Florida. Yeah. The debate comment about hearing yourself talk. Oh wow, man! I will use that. Thank you. Yeah, that's what it is, right? Because I used to do that shit too. And when I was a Christian, when I was a clergyman, I began to see that Christian apologetics is really bullshit. All these people talking about how true the church is. It's only on pieces of paper that your church is true, not in your life. because you're all corrupt on the inside, most of you apologists. You just want to hear people talk. You want to defeat the other person. You have no interest in helping them grow as a person. So self-centered, right? The Star of David. Yeah, right. A lot of people say that, Tricky Ricky. Like they ask me, "Are you Jewish? We see that star in the back." No, I am not Jewish. Do you want to see my foreskin? Is what I tell them. Where are we at here? Let's see, where are we at here? The funniest, your favorite here. Who is Reverend Gene Scott? I don't know who that is. Captain Planet was an actual hero, was he? You ever see those Captain Planet comedy spoofs? They have one where he's in like a shower, and instead of using the toilet to save water, he takes a dump in the shower, and he's pushing it down through the waffle stomping. That was not one of my favorite cartoons. I thought it was quite lame. I'd rather watch He-Man or G.I. Joe back then. Yeah, but he was there to spread awareness. But most children, they thought he was boring. He's out saving the planet. I mean, it was quite boring for most people who enjoyed cartoons. The message just went over the heads. Like, no, this is lame. I'm going to go watch the Thundercats. Oh, let's see. The rose is a symbol. It incorporates the spiral. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, let's see here. Jim and Tammy Baker. Oh, they are hilarious, right? Yeah. I'll never forget her makeup running down her face when she learned her husband was a pervert, right? The chat moves at a clip too, so many people can talk in here. Yeah. Let's see here. Father, don't go to Belgium. You will gain 40 pounds. Yeah, you want me to come to your house so you can feed me the Belgium French fries and chocolate waffles. Yeah. Ultima Lex, you think we need Captain Planet now? Yeah, we do. We need a new green deity, the green man, right? We need one who is going to save the planet from us, the things that we're doing. There needs to be a savior of the planet. We have the savior of mankind. We need a savior of the planet, right? I think I understand where you're coming from. I've never heard of Gene Scott. No. Who is it? Oh, man. Let's see. My mother is telling me she's going to make me. She's watching the show. She sent me a message. She has a cape pattern. She wants to make me a new cloak, my druidic cloak. I said it's not very long. Yes, mother, please make me a druidic cloak that is blue. I can't see your image right now. You're sending me chat messages. But yes, I would like a long druidic cloak that is blue with a hood. I would appreciate that, mother. Thank you. Not too thick in the fabric as well, because it's hot in Florida. Very thin fabric. Thank you, Mom. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, you can check out my D&D channel, Realmscape, if you like Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you. He's got a TV show on Channel 38 in San Francisco. No, I've never heard of him. There's all kinds of crazy Christian preachers out there, right? I'm not an expert. Let's see here. You think mythology are things that happened? They become teaching it. Yeah, mythology to me is a way to tell stories to get you to go to a spiritual place. Now, that doesn't mean that the events and beings are presented in a factual way. They're presented in a way to help you to see something greater. That's how I understand mythology. Donald, you are the Life Church yourself. Good for you. A heavy dose of mushrooms helped you with your fear? Yeah. You are ordained through universal life. Oh, where are we at here? You're feeling goofy without the moon. Is it the new moon phase? Is that what's going on? Thank you for the engulfed in darkness. I said, you couldn't help, yet you still helped me. You are so silly, yet so thoughtful. Thank you so much, really. You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. You threw your PlayStation 2 out 20 years ago. I was smoking and drinking Coke all night, and your eyelids were shaking. You had a video game addiction. Yeah, I know how that's like, right? I spent much of my life behind the game consoles. Yeah. My head appears to have curls. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Let's see here. Bacon is your holy ornament. Yeah, all these lovers of Inquisitor Bacon here. Oh, man. Crooked Gary, you sing the dirge. You do live streams as well at midnight? Look at that. All right. You don't do drugs. Drugs to you? Well, for some people, right? Some people. Yeah, I only do drugs because of my chronic pain condition. Or I would prefer sobriety. All right, where am I at here? Scrolling through. Glad to have some of you here. Like and subscribe. Your penis implant talks to you. Yeah, that's interesting. What does it say? Pump me up? Pump me up? Your mother seems to clearly love you. Yeah, she's a nice lady. Yep. You disgrace Christianity with that filthy mouth. Yeah, screw your Christianity. You don't have to be here if you don't like what I'm saying. Go bitch on someone else's channel. You live in Europe without Gulf Stream. It have the same Arctic weather like Canada. We are high on the globe, yeah. Let's see. Good to see you, Bo Glendale. Good to see you. You could ski in the morning. Look at that. Don't blaspheme the Holy Spirit. See, this person, he's an asshole. He comes on here, he's a Christian. He tries to get me to go deeper into the gates of hell. Because when someone tells me not to do something, I say, screw your Holy Spirit. The idea of a God creating an unforgivable sin tells me a lot about your deity, that he is evil. I'm not going to return to your Lord. Screw your Lord. Let's see here. Where are we at? Father, did you watch my video where our grandfather told the story about dropping plants to prove they weren't Jewish? No, I didn't see that one. I'll have to check that one out. Oh, Chitara. Yeah, we love Chitara. You barely made it to the main and turned back. Yeah, it's cold up there, right? We get so high and then we go low. Some comments here. You are my inspiration. You are a disgraced people, a 50-50 here. Yeah, we have a good time on here. We have a good time. Transformers were so good, and the D&D cartoon. Yeah, I liked the D&D cartoon. They've remade the last show, which was controversial because it had violence in it, right? Most of those cartoons, they had like this violence that was quite mild compared to modern cartoons, right? Like G.I. Joe. No one died. They're always shooting these lasers and shit at each other. No one gets hurt. So they had the script for the last Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. It was too violent, so it was never brought into the show. But fans have remade it with today's technology. If you liked the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, you'll like what some of the fans have done with that last one. Let's see where are we at here. Scrolling through. Yeah. Everyone is saying hello to my mother. Meditating helps you, Amadeus. Never discount the mom. Yeah. Let's see. Where are we at here? You are in the Church of Cannabis. You are born again. a stoned again Christian. Yes. Where are we at here? Scrolling through. Good to see you. Long list of heirs. Yes, this is Martin Luther King Day. This is a holiday in the United States to celebrate this great person who is a great influence about the equality of humanity. So we honor the memory today of the Martin Luther King and his great work. His great teaching of nonviolence is very important. It's easy to be violent to get your way, right? In some equality groups, they did it like the Black Panthers. They found that arming themselves and being violent would be more appropriate. But Martin Luther King, he brought change in the world through nonviolence. See, it's easy to be violent. Nonviolence is more powerful. It is more lasting. What's the conversation rate? I don't know. Take care, Gwendolyn. Glad that you are here. Video game addictions are serious. Yeah, they have treatment centers for them. Yeah. I suffered from that most of my life. Yeah. I've never seen any aggressive energy from you. Have you always had such a gentle aura? Was there a time in your life when you sort of shifted? Well, I'm not perfect. I mean, I'm nice here, but just the other day, I got really angry with family members here and lost my shit. I mean, I'm not perfect. I mean, this is just a face to you, just one face of my fullness of my humanity. I get angry. I make bad choices, right? Especially if you drive in the car with me, I'm always cussing at the other people when I'm driving, right? I'm not perfect. I'm a human being, and I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to learn. I would hope that this is my default mode, right? Hail Ceridwen. Never disguise as a priest while you're not. Yeah, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're just being a dumbass. You can stand passionate, but you never seem generally bothered. Like you can pick and choose what truly upsets you. From my limited perspective, it seems that at least I want to be like that. Yeah, I want to be like what I am now. That should be your driving point, right? Going into what you truly are is what you really are. But sometimes we don't act in the proper character that we want to be, right? Because we are not perfect, right? When I get to the end of the comments today, I'm going to call it a day. I'm almost there. I've been on here for almost 3 hours entertaining you. And I'll be back tomorrow. To be with you. You would love to brick and mortar buildings to smoke cannabis in, discuss spiritualism, a place you share but not debate smoke. Yeah, of course. Yeah. The Florida man rage, yeah, that happens down here, especially at Walmart, right? One rule would be is you would not be able to tell someone they're wrong, no matter how wacky they are. Yeah, well, sometimes you have to say something. And sometimes it's important. Sometimes we don't speak our minds because we are afraid. But when you don't speak your mind, there's a way to speak your mind that is helpful. And there's a way not to do it. Like sometimes telling people the truth is not a good thing to do because it could become harmful. But the way you tell the truth at the right time and right place can be very helpful, even if it's harmful. Let's see here. It's so ironic. You're having so much fun with a game called Evil Genius. You played a Bond villain. There's a lot of good games out there. I haven't played video games in like 3 years. But when the new Baldur's Gate 2 mod comes out for the Kingdom of Cormyr, I'm going to put that on my my Dungeons and Dragons channel. Let's see. Iceland, good to see you. You have fallen asleep, and you have come in at the end of the broadcast here. We appreciate you being here. You're going live at noon today, Green Knight Tales. That's Pacific Standard Time for you? Or where do you live? If you want to see his show. Thank you for your teachings. Father, didn't know you are leaving. Have a pleasant day. Once I get to the end of the comments today, I will be on my way into the world. You didn't miss much. The same old stuff. Same old stuff. Talking about druidry and other things. Yeah. One practice is if you feel triggered and angry, before you react, take a few deep breaths. Yeah. That would be the ideal thing to do, right? What do you believe in if not God? I'm not an atheist. I am a theist, so I believe in deities. Lots of them. Let's see here. Nice to see you, Pekol Dashabros. Good to see you. You go floating out in your backyard? Nice. You're welcome for the show. You're welcome. Quite welcome. I enjoy being here. I enjoy doing this. Like and subscribe. Who the hell is Rick and Morty? They're the cartoon characters, right? Ever been to Akala National Forest? Look for the Rainbow Gathering around February 14th. No, a bunch of hippie folk, they get together there in the Akala Forest. Yeah. Good to see you, Kara. Nice to see you. Let's see here. Yeah, you could keep the conversation going with these good people here. Join our Discord server. There's a join button over there for the price of a cup of coffee. We'll get you in there. We have wonderful people on here. You've been playing Lands of Lore lately. That's an old one. Lands of Lore. That's an old one, right? Yeah. I have GOG, but I haven't used it in a few years. Mostly my kids play in my old Steam account. Take care, Night of Cypher. Good to have you here. Not gay, rainbow-like hippie stuff. Pray for world peace. What's wrong with being gay and being a hippie? What's wrong with that? Okay, that makes sense. You just seem, let's see here, so certain about, you've learned so much. You seem far down the path. Well, we're all on the same path together. We're just experiencing it differently, right? And you admire me, Jojo, and that's okay. Yeah. What you see in me is in you. So you're really admiring yourself and your capacity for all the good things that are available to you, right? Oh, you're in Eastern Standard Time? Yeah. Yeah, you were talking about coyotes. Were you there's a lot of coyotes where you live? Yeah, Lands of Lore was an awesome game. Yeah, certainly. Is druidry going around collecting energies from past souls? No. Druidry is just an earth-based spirituality that you can practice in a variety of ways. Wes Goober, what is this? This is spiritual entertainment. And you've come in at the end here. The offer, I just have coffee in Brazil. You are Brazilian. Wonderful. Wonderful. Nothing wrong with gay. Just rainbow sounds automatically gay of a lot of people. We have ruined the rainbow. Well, you don't have to be here if you don't like gay people. There are lots of gay people on here. Lots of coyotes in Toronto. Oh, you're up in Toronto. We have a lot of people up there in Toronto. Good friends in Canada. You got in a fight with a pack of coyotes? Oh, man. All right. I have come in at the end here. I appreciate you being here. I will be back tomorrow morning around the same time. I thank you for being here. And go check out my YouTube shorts that I have made this morning about druidry. And I think you will enjoy them. All right. Have a good rest of your day.